webinar. This is Bryan Murray. I'm from Boopsie for Libraries. We're really excited about today's webinar, NoveList Select, Book Discovery in Your Library App Catalog. With me today is a very special guest, Duncan Smith from NoveList. Thanks very much for joining us, Duncan.
Thank you, Brian. It's great to be here and talking about Boopsie and what Boopsie and NoveList are doing together. So I'm looking forward to today's presentation.
Great. Thanks again, Duncan. Just let everybody know, usually leave everyone on mute just so we can avoid any audio background issues. But feel free. You can type in a question at any time. And your dashboard there, and I'll try to answer those periodically, but at least I'll leave a few minutes at the end for Q&A for both Duncan and myself. Next week's customer webinar is Wednesday, April 9th, same time, 1 p.m. Eastern. And that one's pretty cool. It's Cover Cake, Books as Seen on TV in Your Library mobile app. That's a brand new subscription service that Boopsie's offering. Really neat. Familiar with Shazam, kind of a Shazam for books at your library, a way for your patrons, if they see a book or hear a book mentioned on The Daily Show or 60 Minutes or NPR, Good Morning America, they can search your mobile app for those different shows or radio programs and then actually find the book mentioned in the catalog, place a hold, and then check it out from your local library. So really neat service. Please join us for that. But without further ado, I would like to turn over the presentation to Duncan, who is going to talk a little bit more about NoveList Select in particular, and then we'll go into how it works with your mobile app, and then I'll show a quick demo of NoveList Select in one of our library customers' apps. So take it away, Duncan.
Well, thank you, Brian. And again, I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their busy days to listen to Brian and me talk a little bit about ways that we can help you reach readers. We all know that every day people walk through the public library stores and they bring with them the questions that truly matter, the questions that have the potential to make a difference in their lives. And none of those questions is more important. Nothing that the library does has a greater potential to change the lives of readers than helping them find the books that are going to sustain them and support them into becoming the people that they want to be. Libraries have always reached out to readers. We've always developed and we've always had a wide range of programs and services and in events and materials that help readers answer the what's a good book to read question. Today, however, serving readers, reaching readers requires us to do more than answer the questions that come to us at the reference desk and help those self-directed readers in the stacks by breaking out genres into separate shelving areas. Today, serving readers means reaching readers or going directly and delivering services to readers where they are. And while those readers are in our buildings and in our stacks, they are also on our website, in our catalog, and increasingly on their mobile devices. So what we're going to do is talk a little bit about how NoveList Select can help you, when we work with Boopsie, reach readers in that mobile experience. But we're also going to talk about a little bit about an overview of how all the different ways NoveList Select can help you reach readers. Brian, can you move to the next slide? Thank you. And if you click it one more time for me, Brian, thank you. Here we have a couple of quotes from, whoops, back one more, there you go, from libraries that are actually using NoveList Select today. Today, Select is being used by hundreds of libraries to do a variety of things. First of all, Select enables libraries to enhance and expand their services to readers by, first of all, making the delivery of RA services, Readers Advisory Services, more efficient and effective. The second thing Select does is it expands your readers' awareness of your collection, and we'll talk a little bit about how it does that in a few minutes. And the third thing it does is it saves staff time and makes Reader's Advisory Service available 24/7 to your users. In a recent Library Journal survey, as I said just a few seconds ago, here are two quotes from librarians who are making use of Select today to expand their library's Reader's Advisory Services. But in a recent Library Journal survey that was co-sponsored by the ALA's RUSA's Committee on RA Future and Trends and NoveList, it was discovered, or at least several libraries indicated, that a focus for them in the coming year was expanding their digital RA services. And one of the things I want to talk a little bit about is what is digital RA service. Digital RA service is taking the experiences that we provide in face-to-face interactions with readers and translating those as best we can into digital experiences for our readers. And so just how many or what percentage of our user group is visiting and using us digitally? Bryan, if you'll move to the next slide. The answer is that number is large and is growing larger. What you have here is an annual report from a major public library in the United States, and there are a couple of things that I want to draw to your attention. First of all, website views. This library experienced over 70 million website views in a year, and that compares to a door count of about 5.8 million. So while 5.8 million people walk through the doors of this library's various branches, 70 million views of their website happened. The other important factor here is this library had 1.4 million or almost 1.5 million holds placed on its titles last year. 1.2 million of those were placed remotely, which means patrons from home and office outside the library were visiting the library's catalog and placing holds on their own. That's about an 80% of those holds were being placed by patrons in a self-directed way. If you move on to the next slide, Bryan. And so what this slide here says is that the website, your website, is where a lot of activity is happening for you. It's a place where a large percentage of your users are visiting, but what exactly are they doing at that website? Basically, according to this chart from a patron profile study conducted by Library Journal, your library website, while it is many things, its primary use for a lot of your readers and a lot of your users is as a gateway to your catalog. The best thing that your library can do to support discovery is make sure that your website is pointing to your catalog, and that within your catalog you are delivering the content that will actually help readers find more of what you own. Next slide, Bryan. So let's think about your catalog. Traditionally, the catalog has been an inventory control system. But what can we do to take that experience, that catalog, and let's talk a little bit about how Select changes your user's experience or can change your user's experience of your catalog. Next slide, Bryan. What we have here, I mean, you know, libraries for well over a decade or 2 decades now have been involved in enriching the experience of their catalog. Catalog enrichment has traditionally been viewed as adding book jackets and maybe summaries. In some cases, we may have actually added professional reviews. Users said they would like to see series information in the catalog, and 78% said that they would like to see reading recommendations in the catalog. And so what we have here is we wait for the screen to paint here a second, is some of the ways that NoveList Select can actually help you deliver that information into the catalog. What we see here is not only, we see the entire series in reading order, which gets to one of the things that the Evansville study talked about. The other thing that we do here is we deliver reading recommendations. And notice that NoveList delivers reading recommendations in 3 ways, 3 sort of areas of interest for your readers. First of all, because the title that we're looking at here was a series title, we also suggest other series that you might like. In addition, we show you other titles you might like, and then we also show other authors that you might like. So whether you're interested in learning about a new series or finding another author or just finding an individual title, NoveList can do that in all 3 ways. And we're also doing that for over 5 million titles. Now, one of the things that I want to be sure that you know is that all of the titles that we're showing on this screen are titles that are owned by the library. NoveList will only recommend titles that you own, so Select is not showing titles that you don't own, and this is another way that we are driving use of your collection. Next slide, Brian. If you want to see the whole series for a series that you think you might be interested in, all you have to do is click on that link, and we show the series in reading order, and then clicking on any of the title links would take you directly to that record in your catalog. Next slide. One of the things that we discovered in this survey, and actually it's something that I suspect everyone on this call knows, is that one of the big challenges of doing reader's advisory work is keeping up with authors and titles. And one of the great fears that we have in doing this work is that we're going to wind up having to work with a reader who's reading a book or loves an author that we have not read or that we don't know anything about. So one of the ways that NoveList and NoveList Select help you in that situation is we not only show you recommendations, but we give you the rationale for why we are suggesting a particular title. So that when you're working in an area, in a genre, or with an author that you're not familiar with, the resource is actually going to give you the rationale for the reason we think this book is linked to the book that you started with. And while I've got a second, let me just talk a little bit about where our recommendations come from. First of all, our recommendations are based off of the subject and appeal factor work that we've been doing for over 20 years that you have known and trusted for over 2 decades. In addition to that, we have handcrafted recommendations that are created by our staff here at NoveList as well as by our outside contributors. And then thirdly, those 2 factors are used to sort of drive our algorithm, and to also we're constantly working on and tweaking that algorithm to improve our effectiveness at delivering just the right recommendation in just the right way to that reader. Next slide, Brian. And another way that Select is improving, that we improve on the recommendations that we have in the catalog, is that you and your readers can vote on whether or not you agree with one of our recommendations, and you even have an opportunity to tell us why you liked it, why you didn't like it, and to provide some alternatives. So this is not only a way that we're improving our recommendations, it's another way, it's a level of interaction and engagement with your users and with your staff as well. Next slide, Brian. I've talked a lot about books and how Select actually connects your readers to your books, the books that you have in your collection. But we all know that public libraries are more than just books, and Select can also help you draw user attention to all of the things that you're doing at your library. That can include what's new at your library, news posting. If you have our Next Read service, which is now available through our Library Aware product, you could actually, for all of your mystery readers, you can put a prompt to subscribe to a Next Reads newsletter. In addition to that, you can promote events at your library so that if you're having a mystery author come to do a program, you can have that announcement appear on each and every one of your mystery titles. And we know that databases and use of databases has been kind of a challenge. We are also cataloging databases and associating those databases with relevant title records in your catalog. So it's a great way for you to increase awareness of those electronic resources that you're purchasing. Next slide, Bryan. So what Select does is it takes the content that you've known and trusted from NoveList for over 20 years, and it delivers that content into your catalog where both you and your readers can find it more easily and more directly. It is tied to your collection, so it draws readers' attention to similar books that you own to the ones that they already know and love. And that is bringing Select and the OPAC together. Select transforms your catalog from being just an inventory control system to being a book discovery platform. And by delivering this information to your readers and to your staff when and where they need it, it enriches and expands your users' experience of the library and improves your services to your customers. Now, with our partnership with Boopsie, what this means is that content is not only going to be in your catalog, but it's going to be in another primary channel that your users use to interact with you, and that's their mobile phone. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Bryan and let him talk about Boopsie. Bryan, over to you.
Great. Thanks so much, Duncan. That was very informative. I hope everyone was able to get everything out of that, and we'll, as I said, leave a few minutes at the very end for questions. There's already a couple that have come up, but I think it'll be better to save those towards the end. I just have a couple more slides here to talk specifically about the NoveList Select integration. So it seamlessly integrates in your mobile app catalog search. NoveList does include all of the different databases that they do integrate with so far, and there's more coming. It looks like so far we have about 10 libraries that have integrated NoveList Select, and that's growing daily. But we haven't run into any problems yet. But your specific situation is might be different, so just talk to us about that, and we'll work on that for you. We do work with NoveList on the tech details, so the process is pretty easy. You just let us know you would like your NoveList Select catalog integrated into your mobile app, and I'll talk about our packages and the pricing in a second, but once you do let us know and everything's worked out, we can just work with NoveList to put that into your mobile app. You don't really need to do anything on your end, and then we should be able to get it live within about a week, depending on a few other factors. I have a couple of screenshots here that shows the Bentonville Public Library's mobile app and the NoveList Select integration. Basically, the first screenshot, we searched for Harry Potter and came up with the Goblet of Fire title. This is the detail page in the mobile app. And actually, when you scroll down, and I'll show a live demo of this in a second, but as you scroll down, you can see the various different things that NoveList Select offers. The series info, similar titles to the Goblet of Fire, similar authors, and similar series as well, which is really important for recommendations. You know, once they've plowed through the Harry Potter series, they're going to want something else, right? So including the similar series is really neat. Okay, so bear with me just for 1 second here, and I will bring up the demo from one of our libraries that does have NoveList Select integrated. what I'm going to show here is the Los Gatos Public Library. It's a neighbor of ours, and they have NoveList Select integrated into their mobile app. I apologize for the delay. Current software working, it sometimes takes a few seconds here. Okay, so hopefully you can see on my screen, this is the, I'm just mirroring the Los Gatos Library mobile app on my iPod Touch here, and you can see this is their home screen here. All right, here it is up here now. So I apologize for the delay. If this doesn't work in the next few seconds here, we'll scrap it and we'll show you it later. This is the divergent detail page, and what's really easy is that you can just scroll down within the detail page, look at, there's 12 copies available at this particular library. See the metadata there, and then you can see the series info through NoveList Select. There's 3 volumes in the series so far, 1 more coming this year. Similar titles to Divergent, similar authors, and similar series as well. And the great thing is, once you can click on any of these items, similar authors like Suzanne Collins, and you can see all the Hunger Games books that showed up as well. So really nice, easy integration. And once I click on one of those titles, it will also search the library's catalog and show me the detail page of the Hunger Games, so I can place a hold on that as well. So that is the simple but very effective integration. And again, I apologize for the technical difficulties there. Okay, so the pricing is pretty easy. NoveList is a great partner of ours. We don't exchange money at all. That's not what we're here to do. We're just here to help you with the integration. So it's a nice integration, and for those of you who are already on Optimum Plus, it is included along with your Overdrive integrations and One-Click Digital and 3M Cloud Library. If you have any questions, just please contact me at brian@boopsie.com, and I can let you know if it's already included or if it's just a small upgrade fee. And then these are some of the other integrations that we include as well that you probably have at your library. Okay, so that is all that we had today, but I just wanted to make sure I get to some of your questions. I know there's quite a few here. And if anybody has anything, please let us know and enter them into the question box there, and we'd be happy to go over those for you. But thank you, Duncan, for joining us. There's going to be a few software questions, so instead of probably answering each specific one, someone here asked about Encore Mobile with NoveList Select. We could probably answer you offline about that, just since NoveList has all the different integrations on their website, and I can share those with you as well.
Okay, so Bryan, thank you for hosting this, and I was glad to have an opportunity to spend some time talking with our shared customers about this new integration and these new features.
Great, great. So yeah, it looks like that is all the questions here. And thanks again, Duncan, and please contact Duncan or myself if you need anything more. Thanks very much for joining us.
All right. Good afternoon or good morning. Have a good day, everybody else. Bye-bye.